Okay guys, this week we're going to start with volume. We were doing three-dimensional shapes before we were put on quarantine. We were doing surface area, and the first week last week I just focused on naming solids because we needed to do a review, and I just felt like that would probably be the smartest thing for us to do. So we're starting with volume. We're going to start with prisms first and then cylinders. So I asked you this past week to I asked you to tell me how is volume different from surface area. You had a question in your form that you had last week, and I'm going to read you some of the answers. I'm going to tell you maybe how you've expressed some misconceptions. Okay, so one person said volume is the amount of space something takes up. Okay, it depends on what that something is. Okay, somebody else also said, let's see. Yeah, so this person's kind of said the same thing. Surface area is what's on the outside, and volume is the amount of area it takes up. Okay, but area is two-dimensional, so we just need to find better words. Amount inside the object. It depends on what the object is. Okay, so let me show you a couple different things here. Okay, so I have a picture. Okay, so the amount of space this takes up is not volume. This object is two-dimensional. So we can find the area of it, but there is no volume of it, okay? If I talk about my bottle of water, the amount of space it takes up is volume, okay? So we need to be a little bit more specific. We can't just say it's the amount of space that an object takes up. Depends on what sort of object we're talking about, right? So we either need to be clearer and say the amount of space a 3D object takes up, or it'd be easier if we could just come up with one definition that applies to everything, okay? Let's see what some of the rest of you said here. Surface area is two-dimensional, or volume is three-dimensional. Whoever said that, good job. That's excellent. Yep, volume's three-dimensional. Surface area is the total area of all the sides of the polyhedra. Ooh, and the volume is how much the polyhedra holds. Okay, that's a very good explanation if you had to compare and contrast. Volume is the space inside of an object. It's the space inside of a 3D object. Okay, so I have some visual aids here. I'm in my daughter's bedroom, but I stole these from the high school before they kicked us out. Okay, so what I have here is a wagon of blocks. I don't know if you had any of these blocks when you were a kid, but really surface area was finding the number of square units. That's why when we did it, I had graph paper and I had you guys like draw the shapes and count the boxes. Okay, volume is the number of cubes that are inside of an object. So when we're finding the volume, we're finding cubic units, and these are about an inch by an inch by an inch, okay? So if I wanted to build some of these, and I'll do this here while I'm talking to you, the number of cubes would be representing the volume of it, because volume is cubic units. It can be cubic centimeters, it can be cubic yards, which is how concrete is measured and ordered. It can be cubic... I don't even know what I said so far. It could be cubic miles for that matter. I don't know why you would measure cubic miles, but you might. Okay, so what I did here is I built this little prism, okay? And I can literally see the volume of it because I can see how many cubes are there. It looks like on the front there, do you see 6? Okay, and then if I come around to the back side of it here, you can see that there's another 6 on the back. Okay, so this one has 12 cubes, so it's 12 cubic inches. It's 2 by 2 by 3. Okay, so volume is the number of cubic units that are inside of an object. Okay, that's what we need to remember. If you're going to say just object in general and you want to say what's inside of it, you have to say a three-dimensional object. Okay, because the space inside of this two-dimensional object is not volume. Okay, so what I've done here is I made another video where we took you around the farm. And this week we're going to learn, like I said, prisms and cylinders, and we've got a lot of cylinders and prisms on the farm, and I'm going to make all the homework, some of those objects. We'll be finding the volume of them, okay? So keep going on the Nearpod.